Hello there. We may appear to be disentangling ourselves from the European Union, but there is one area where ever closer union progresses unabated, and that is defence. Just as we hear words of plans for a no-deal Brexit being drawn up, it turns out that we are still actively working towards staying in joint EU military programmes including research, finance and assets. It seems that word of Brexit has not reached the ears of those in the Ministry of Defence. Maybe the memo has been mislaid, or still resides within some bureaucrat's in-tray. Whatever the reason, this should be of extreme worry to anyone who wants to see the UK fully freed from the ever-tightening grip of Brussels. And the reasons for concern? For a nation to be truly independent, it needs control of its own foreign and defence policies. And without full national control over its own defence, a country cannot have full control over its own foreign policy. The two go hand in hand. Then there's the NATO angle. NATO has been the force for peace for many decades, and we are a major part of that. We do not need the added distraction and expense of being part of what will ultimately become an EU defence force. So you have to ask, why did the UK agree to accelerate the move towards defence integration after the vote to leave the EU? In an article on the Bruges Group website, David Banks, co-founder of Veterans for Britain, wrote, "Since the Brexit vote, the UK has given a green light to the juggernaut of EU military schemes on the understanding we would be outside of them. However, government position papers incredibly propose staying in joint EU schemes on military finance, research and assets. The schemes, which have never been voted on by MPs, would mean the UK staying in the EU Common Defence Policy, the European Defence Agency and even EU defence procurement directives. Should this continue, the UK will find itself still under the control of the EU. Our armed forces wouldn't be able to buy a paperclip without the say-so of the EU, and if our interests were endangered, we would need the permission of the EU to defend them. This is not Brexit, and this is not independence." Writing in The Conservative Woman, Major General Julian Thompson said, "Paradoxically, if anything, defence union has accelerated after Brexit." And he goes on to say, "The problem is that what is being signed up to is bad policy from the EU. What is so surprising is that the UK is going along with much of it." And further, "The problem is, though, that it means handing control to joint EU committees governing growing areas of collective military finance, assets, strategy and policy. UK officials have sold the agreements across government by touting highly questionable cost savings." And he uses the telling and very alarming words, "The result has been unseen by the UK Parliament." And he finishes with, "It would be a peculiar victory if we obtain our freedom from the EU at the same moment as we have surrendered our ability to defend it." But I ask, why aren't our MPs demanding answers about this in Parliament? You can bet they are fully aware of it, and if they are not, they do not deserve to be there. Many complain about every comma in the withdrawal bill, but care not one jot about defence, other than to try and cut it further to free up money to give away to all and sundry. Don't they believe that they should have a direct say in the defence of the nation? Are they just, in truth, a bunch of Remainers who are very happy to hand over the defence of the citizens of a nation they supposedly represent to any old Tom, Dick or Harry? Finally, why is our Prime Minister, Theresa May, allowing this to happen, or even worse, quietly endorsing it and hurrying it along? She did say today during Prime Minister's questions that the UK would be leaving the EU in March 2019, but it looks like our armed forces will not be coming with us. Those who wish the UK to remain subservient to the EU will of course be very happy about this, as they do not believe that the UK is capable of tying its own shoelaces, let alone defending itself. But true Brexiteers will rightfully be very angry. How do you feel about our defence being quietly assimilated into the EU? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.